Hello and welcome back to Room for TCG. Today I'm continuing with just a little more OP17. We'll be back to 16.5, maybe tomorrow, no promises. But today I wanted to play Kaido. Kaido is, I think, being slept on a little bit. It's got weaknesses. Don't get me wrong, we'll get onto those. But this deck has so many different options and combos towards the end of the game that you can really sort of strangle your opponent out and get a lot of value on them later on. Kaido's leader effect is multifaceted, which is great. On offense, it makes it easier to remove your opponent's board, and on defense, it makes it harder for your opponent to swing into him. Sort of supporting that game plan of going long, having insane stamina, just like Kaido in the show, and just dragging the game out and strangling your opponent out of the game. The one issue with this is, of course, it costs Dom -1, so it's hard to use in the early game. But once you get to 10, and this deck's intention is to get to 10 as quickly as possible, this becomes a much more useful tool, right? The strengths of this deck, I would say, are, firstly, it really is very, very good at punishing misplays. One incorrect attack can be responded to with something like a 10 mum. You remove that threat, you remove the damage it dealt, and you establish a 10-12. And then your opponent can just be so much further behind because you play 10 costs so much quicker than they possibly can. Which is incredible. Additionally, if your opponent is not able to deal with blockers, the blocker Kaidos can really stack up, similarly to blocker Blackbeards to an extent. And finally, we just get a lot of value, because we're getting Dons back from the blockers, because we can use this leader effect to insane value later on. You just have a lot of value with this deck. You get extra Dons here and there to use for all sorts of things. The weaknesses of this deck, the biggest one is consistency. The consistency of this deck is not great. It's not as bad as some people might make out. But when you whiff King on 6, it feels really, really bad. And if you go first, if you whiff Ramp on 3 or King on 6, it feels really, really bad. There are backups, but just not having that King on the board, both as a body and for the Don re-ramp every turn, it makes it much more difficult in the late game if you don't have that fella on the board. But first, if you're in the market for some new TCG accessories, I'd give it a couple of weeks, because later this month, on the 16th of August, Sleeve Chief are having their summer sale, with up to 70% off certain products, brand new products being revealed, and also restocks of fan favourite lines. This sale is going to be an amazing time to get yourself some new shiny accessories. This is going to be starting on the 16th of August, and if you use code MARINE, you're going to get a further 5% off whatever you buy. Thank you to Sleeve Chief for sponsoring this video. Now let's jump into the list. So this is the list of Kaido that I've been playing. The ideal curve for this deck is generally first, but if your opponent's a deck that likes going second anyway, it can be better to take second just for the extra consistency, because then you just need to see King. And you do need to see King. This is the most important card in the deck, and we'll start with him. You want to play this on 6 every single game, whether you're going first or second. This guy ramps 2 Don. One of them comes inactive, which is cool. You can use that for a searcher or just to swing for 6. Sometimes relevant. And then this guy does this every single turn for the rest of the game. Ramps 1 active, 1 rested. This really helps offset big Don costs like Mama Ragen or 10 Mum and make those cards much more viable. In addition, your opponent can't really interact with this. There are turns where your opponent should be swinging into King. Do bear that in mind, because your Don count matters, right? If your Don count gets too low, then all of a sudden you maybe can't play a 10 cost on the next turn. And that's fine if you've got a 9 cost, but if you don't, it can be problematic. So that I think there are turns where people should swing into King more to force you to either counter or use this effect. But generally, he's unremovable by KO. Very weak to Raging Tiger, but sure, Raging Tiger one thing, that's fine. But how are we going to get to this? Well, we do have a number of ramps. Firstly, the Queen functions as both your searcher, you're having a trash 1, draw 2. Do note it can only trash AKP cards, which we play a good number of, but not infinite. And then later on, you can rest 2 Don to get a ramp that is rested. Minor note on this, don't play this on 1 into red decks if you only have this as your only viable ramper, because they can play Namuel on 2 and remove it, and then you're like shit out of luck if you don't have another ramp card. So be careful, just play it on 3. It only costs 3 for the whole effect. So into red, just play it on 3. And into anything else that you think might have removal for this as well. On 3, you either want to use Queen's Effect, or you can play this Yamato. This Yamato is not searchable, but it's an excellent card. A 3-cost blocker that ramps unconditionally is just a very strong card, and as such, I'm playing for. For backup ramp, we have Basil Hawkins. This is a 2k. You can trash one card to ramp when it's active. It's infinitely worse than either Yamato or Queen. You never want to play this. But if you see a hand you're going first that's got King and Hawkins, I'm probably keeping. King's just so important, and Hawkins is fine. The final backup ramp is this. I'm playing this because I think the emergency ramp is slightly better than, the Flaming Dragon Torch. It still only buffs leader on counter, so it's exactly the same. But yeah, you never want to play the main of this card, but if you're with King, I guess you could. Now, boss monsters. There are a whole bunch of them in this deck. The one you most often want to play first is this blocker Kaido. It's just pretty good. When you return a Don, you get 2 backers active that you can use for all sorts of things. Queen Searchers. We're going to claim the One Piece Searchers, just swinging a bit bigger. Or for a blocker like Black Maria, or a counter event like Slow Beam Sword or the Meteor Shower. Slow Beam Sword, I think, is very, very important in this deck. This catches everyone off guard. Not everyone, obviously. But this catches a lot of people off guard, and being able to rest whatever you want for the cost of 2 Don, whilst potentially getting out of a swing as well, it's just so valuable. This wins me so many more games than you'd care to admit. And it can be very hard for your opponent to play around at the best of times, because just tapping their characters opens up to Tenma, who's another one of your boss monsters. For Don -4, you can trash one, you get a heal, and then you set one of your opponent's base powers to 0. This is, of course, searchable off We're Going to Claim the One Piece, so it's just as searchable as anything else in this deck, which is cursed. But yeah, this is an exceptional card. You do sort of need King on the board, otherwise you're not going to be anywhere near 10 on the following turn. But removing one of your opponent's biggest characters whilst healing, it's just too good not to play. You can also combine this with MrMaCHONaCHOMan. Although it is a lot of Don cost, it can remove basically anything. So you can set it to 0 and then rest it. Just bear in mind that does cost Don -6. The final 10 we have is Kaido. I often play this first as well. Like, one of these Kaidos is usually the one you want to play first. They both have very good effects. This guy just removes a dude. It negates and then KOs. So anything like a Nell that can't be KO'd, we don't care. Anything with an on-KO, we don't care. Very good card. Also turns your bricks in hand into counters, which is nice because we do play quite a few. Finally, in terms of boss monsters, I'm playing 2 lead performers. It's a free heal. Sometimes this is just the best thing you can be doing. If your opponent doesn't have any 6 costs to remove and you don't have the blocker Kaido to establish, and Mum wouldn't be hitting anything because nothing's tapped, lead performers is cool. Gives you a life and then get a 9/11 swinger that you can turn into Queen when it seems opportune. Queen can draw 1 and then stun 2 5s, and he has Banish. Banish is obviously exceptional into yellow, but it's pretty good into anything. It just denies a card. Seems strong to me. We'll talk more at the end about the other OP17 league performers and why I'm not choosing to play them. Final cards, I've got 2 copies of Divine Departure. This can actually just be a play if you don't have a boss monster. You can just attach 1 and rest 5 to give -8 and remove whatever you like. And in this way, I just really like the card. And I've got 4 copies of NikoStrike. It's fine. It's an Animal Kingdom Pirates 2k. You do want all of your 2ks to be AKP so that you can trash them with Queen. His effect, if your opponent has a very, very low hand size, could be relevant, particularly around 1 or 2. That's when this guy starts becoming interesting. I think that's everything. Here's a couple of games with Kaido into some of the new leaders, and then we'll talk more about other options at the end. We're going to Rocks, and he has taken first off us. That's a smart decision. We're going second, we're just hard mulliganing for King. 2 Queens is reasonable. I don't mind that. Mama is also a lovely combo. We just need to see that King by 6. That's a lot of Queens. Let's deploy this and ditch the event. Okay. Don't have any more AKP cards other than the Queens. Let's go with the Searcher. Okay. I'm going to take the blocker here, I think, over the Queen. Yeah, I'm going to take the blocker. And we're going to pass. And we're going to hope to find an Animal Kingdom Pirates card here. Free trigger. King. My king. We did it. Cure. Very nice. Do we want to ramp? I mean, we might as well get the fella down. Yeah, I think Ramping here is fine. We established a blocker as well. It's always nice to have a blocker. We can do Yamato plus probably queen on the other queen. So yeah, let's just go 5. Okay, that's a lot of top end. There's a lot of top end. None of it particularly countery. You know what I mean? Reveals a Kaido. I assume this is going to be Big Mum. You would never swing with the Kyo. We won't do that. We'll go no blocker, and I'll give up the Yamato here. His swings are going to get bigger starting next turn. It would be a grievous error to attack with the Kyo, in my opinion. We're going to be able to play it Kaido. Okay, well, at least he didn't attack with the Kyo. That's the correct choice. I don't really want to ditch anything with this queen. I can't lie. Let's just go with king. Ramp, game 1, game 1. We're at 9. What's better? Just swing in 7. You can go block 2k. Or if we ramp and then leader effect, it's exactly the same. He can just give us a 1k in theory. So if he plays bucket, that's actually worse. The extra Don is not going to matter. Let's just swing 7. Can block 2k if he wants. No, it just takes. I think that's smart. As 7 Don, he needs to see Shiki here. Shiki is the important card to see. If it's Nuge, we're in a very, very good spot. Because we get to clear that. If it's Shiki, we want to go with the blocker and then go with the mum next turn. I've got my plan for both outcomes. If he swings 6 with Kaido, we can of course leader effect. That's fine. We do need to think about using the Yamato soonish. Because he could remove it. Gets rid of a mum, reveals that. I think... No on that. Certainly not going to block. Do you want a 1k or do you want to take this? If he swings 7 with the Kaido, we can just block. That's... Oh, in fact, we can still leader effect 1k. He's never swinging more than 7 with the Kaido. Let's just take 1. Nice to have a 2k in hand. And he does have Shiki. Okay. Good, good, good. Oh, well, not good, but you know what I mean. The Shiki is probably the most annoying thing he can play. If he has 2 Shikis in a row, that's when it starts getting tough. We're going to need to look to deal with one of them. Let's go with the Kaido. Get the big fella down. Then we'll go 5. Use the leader effect. Reduce this so that it can't free block. He's got to look to start countering soon as well. We'll game 1, restand 1. He is playing the buck in. Okay, good to know, good to know. 2 Don, I don't really want to do anything with them. We could trash the queen. The queen is not that good in hand. 8 is the magic number to swing with king. So let's do an 8. Cool, that goes through. I think I will play the queen, ditch the other queen. I can't see myself using this. Okay, we drew a 2k and a 1k. That's nice. Bit more counter. We've got 2 blockers. We can fairly aggressively block with this because of the existence of this little feller. And we're just hoping he doesn't have another Shiki. Because double Shiki with the double power down, that's when it starts getting a bit tough to deal with. Yeah. Yeah. We can also sort of aggressively take down to... I don't know if I want to go to 1, but we can certainly take 1 life this turn. Because we're almost certain to mum next turn. We mum the Shiki. Mum a Rog in it. We're going to get a lot of Don back. I think we could just about go back to 10 as well. And if he tosses with this to reduce the Kaido, then that's like kind of fine. We're not too worried about that. Because then that's just a card out of his hand, right? And if he doesn't toss, then we can just free block. So I think the correct answer for him here, by the way, is to not swing with the Shiki. I think you don't swing with the Shiki. You could maybe swing with the Kaido. This is just a 6. Tosses a 10 man, reveals a Kyo. if he goes really hard on this one, we could lose it. Think. And also don't need to get rid of this just yet. So I'm going to go no blocker and give a 2k on this one. It's like not that bad for me if he goes, if I block and he goes all, like plays Gloriosa and then goes all in. But equally, I'd rather he doesn't do that. There is the Gloriosa. Okay, so I guess I should have blocked. But this is also fine. I'm just happy he's not playing anything more meaningful. This is a lot of blockers, though. Okay, what's the best way of dealing with this? Sure. He's just shown me 2 rocks and a Kyo for no reason. Yeah, this is a pointless swing. Isn't it? Oh no, this is at -6 now. I lied. Let's just take. Free trigger, why not? Another blocker here? I don't think so. This turn we're just going to mum the Shiki. The fact that I don't have to use the MrMaCHONaCHOMan is actually quite good. Although we could use it to rest the Gloriosa. The Shiki's going to be at 0. We'll make it -2 and then start swinging both the queens into it to get a lot of value. He has a million blockers, but we should be able to get rid of it regardless. It's just, do I want lead performers or Kaido is the question. So we'll be at 10, we're going back to 6, we're going back to 7, we're going back to 9, we're going to deramp to 8. So we'll be back at 10, no problem. Next turn, he's going to rocks. What's he going to rocks into? Who knows? I think I'm going to take another one of these. I think next turn we're very likely to be playing this, though. This Kaido. I mean, that's pointless. That's just pointless. You've just rested your blocker for no reason now. That was very, very silly. But it is what it is. I think I'm actually going to toss a... I can't toss a MrMaCHONaCHOMan. Toss the Yamato here. Game 1, reduce this to 0. Game 1, restand 1. King effect. Game 1, game 1. Then... I want to reduce this, and then if I swing these 2 into it, it can go block, but then we just swing the king into it. So it's fine. We get an extra 6 into the Kaido here in this way. Or I could just go 2 queens. That's improbable that he'll counter those. Yeah, let's go 2 with queen into Shiki. We'll save this because maybe we can even remove this Kaido as well. Cool. Works for me. Go 6 to 4. Cool. We don't have anything else to do with the Don. We'll swing 7. We don't have the Yamato blocker anymore. Do I want to swing the Kaido? Do I want to swing the Kaido? If I do, it's probably just going to eat the Gloriosa. He has a... I probably should have swung 8 there, actually, so that he couldn't do exactly that. Although he could just Gloriosa. He's going to have to play over something anyway, so if I swing the Kaido, he just blocks, so no, we'll just pass. There's no point. If he's going to full combo out with something with the rocks, he's going to have to play over something, or just not get value out of the 2-drop if it's Rock Shiki. But yeah, even though we went second, we've got 2 10-drops on the board before he gets to play his, which is just... it's just very good value. We're not doing that. If he does go rocks Shiki, it's only a 9. I don't think this Kaido swings. I think this is a free block, always. If he doesn't play rocks, it's not. We'll have to use some resources, but yeah, it's incredibly likely he plays the rocks, right? It's the best thing he can be doing. And who comes out? Shiki? No, Nugate. Okay, this is good for us. We can play this, remove the Nugate. Stassy's strong, freezes the king. And then just passes, as he should. So we can remove the Nugate. He played over the Kyo, so we don't even need to use the MrMaCHONaCHOMan, which is strong. So I'll deploy this over this. Use this effect. Don -1. Negate the new gate, KO the new gate. Game 1 active, restand 1. By removing the new gate, he loses so much of his defense as well. I don't need any Dons, so we'll go 7, 12. Not sure if I'm going to use the Kaido. Not sure if I'm going to use the Kaido. Go 7 here, Don -1, reduce this. Sure. We'll King effect, game 1 active, game 1 rested for fun. 12 leader. It's going to block, stay at 2. Do I want to swing this? I think we just play it slow again. This Stussy is not doing anything meaningful, most likely. And if he wants to invest really heavily in removing this Lin, we can just Big Mum and remove one of his shits. It's good. It's good. 6 to 5. So he's not playing rocks. Trash is Gloriosa. So he's going to do 3 for Stussy and then maybe 6 for another Stussy. Stun a lot of things. He'll be attacking with the rocks in that case. Everything's going to be stunned except one guy, one of the big guys. And Queen, for what it's worth. Don't think we need to do this. No. Oh, I have a blocker, don't I? Don't block. What if he plays 7 Don Shiki? If he plays Shiki, he can't Stussy. He'd be all in on this. He might get the clear. No, I don't think he does, actually. I think this is free. Yeah, we'll just take this one. That's fine. We can leader effect the Stussy swing. If he did decide to swing. But yeah, as expected, stun, 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 stun. Yep, stun on this. Incredible. But we're just going to mum again. There is no danger. This is how you sort of just win this matchup. Yeah, mum over the Queen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trashing Maria. Game 1. Set this to 0. Game 1. Restart 1. No, not that. Oh, he leaves. Fuck. Didn't get to finish it off, but yeah, we get to remove the Kaido. We're going to remove at least one of the Stussies, and there's just no way to come back. If you get to your top end, then you're just in a very good spot. I think his mistake was, I don't even know if it was a mistake, but he didn't get double Shiki. Double Shiki makes it very hard for me to use my blockers, and it also makes it very hard for me to attack with things, because as soon as you attack with things, if there's 2 Shikis on the board, you're down to 6k, and all of a sudden that's quite difficult to defend. Obviously, King notwithstanding. He's just King. He's the GOAT. But yeah, other than that, opponent didn't really whiff anything. It was just that 9 Don turn that was a bit dodgy. But yeah, I do think this is one of Kaido's better matchups, for what it's worth. Okay, we're going to get into Luffy. Now, this deck really does like second. However, we really do like first. He doesn't really gain an advantage at anything by going first. And we do gain consistency by going second. Okay. Well, we have double ramp and we have double searchers. This feels strong. It's not King, but it's double searchers. Very good. Yep, gains the Nami. Yeah, this event is just a 3k in this matchup. Another Yamato is not quite what I'm looking for. No King. No King. We could take Queen, just have another dig. Which is probably better than just taking a Kaido. Am I going to play this now? No, I'm going to search now. Okay, there's King. That is the most important thing achieved. When you're on evens, you just need to see King. If you don't see King, you're in danger. A lot of danger. We'll take 1. Is this a 5-5 classic? Yes, it is. Incredible. It's actually tempting to leader effect here, because we have the setup for it. We have the Yamato on 3 to go to 6, or to go to 4, draw to 6, King. Actually, don't hate it. Just because we drew the curve anyway. We'll go 5 here, no effect. It means we don't get to play Queen, but like we don't need him just yet. We can play him with the extra Don from King. We'll go Yamato, game 1, and then pass. Not bothering taking out the Nami. It doesn't matter. He's never putting 3 Don on this again. Unless he's drawing like shit. Which I'm not going to play around. I'm not going to play around my opponent drawing badly. This should be Saul. I guess in this situation, we can't actually get a meaningful swing for sure. If he does Saul here, right, for 4, because we're going to have 1 Don. Or we can. Well, he doesn't Saul. Okay. This is the anti-removal one. Is he actually going to prove me wrong by attacking with this fucking Nami again? He might. No blocker. He actually might. We don't need this Yamato. You're actually going to attack... No, fuck off, man. First time I've ever seen them whip anything. I'm going to block with... no, I'm going to block with this because of Loki. So silly. But on the bright side, he didn't get Saul, which is incredible for us. We'll just go 5 leader. No effect. And then I'll queen away the extra king. You never need more than 1 king. Next turn... I don't know. It's going to depend what he does. We don't have MrMaCHONaCHOMan. It's also going to depend what we draw off this queen. He's going to take down to 3. Seems sensible. We'll go with the queen. Trashing the king. Okay. Not great. No top end other than this one big mum. We did cycle over a couple for what it's worth, but... Yeah, I'm going to take this. Okay, another queen is not really what I had in mind. We could just play this queen. It's not the worst. It gets a guy on the board. It's not the one I want. I prefer either of the others. We could play this queen first. Because we can do the rejig where we use the leader effect, then king effect. Big Mum's fine for next turn. And we're going to have this Don anyway that we have nothing to do with. So let's play the queen. Ditch Maria. Okay, it doesn't help. Well, we'll just play queen then. That's fine. Queen. Return 1. We draw a Kaido. There it is. We'll stun these. 5 leader. Juice this for fun, mostly. Kaido next turn is good. It can't remove Loki, but it can maybe remove something else. And if not, the Big Mum's probably going to be very good. There's no point swinging this because he has a blocker, so we'll just... Although, there's no point not swinging it, because if he swings into it, then that's just good for us. So we'll make him do it. We'll make him do it. But yeah, 9 Don, he's going to finally get to play that Luffy. 5, no effect on that one. We'll just give out the Yamato. Don't mind taking 1 swing here, because we are probably going to mum this turn. Assuming he does. Oh, okay, not what I was expecting. Not at all what I was expecting. That's a mistake, though. Because now we can big mum this. Stussy, huh? Is this something they're playing? Well, I'm glad it only hit our queen. I can tell you that. Yeah, interesting. What's the odds he has another one, huh? Probably pretty low. I like all of these cards. I think the card I like least is the Yamato. We'll game 1, set this to 0. Oh, it's actually still at 3, isn't it? That's kind of funny. That is kind of funny. It's still at 3. Regardless, 6 into 3 is incredibly likely to go through. I'm not going to even bother. If he defends, I'll swing the 7 into it. It's fine. We're getting rid of this Loki. And then we'll just do 7 leader. No pass. If he doesn't has another Stussy, that'd be kind of annoying. But yeah, not what I expected. Quite a good play though, actually. Another Loki clears the queen. Don't care. Robin reduces the king. We can return 1 Don happily. I don't want to return more than 1 though, because then we can't play a 10 drop. After 4. And then this can swing. I think I actually have to 2k this. Yeah, I have to 2k this. Because he can swing... I mean, he can swing 7-9, actually. He's really pressuring the king, and I don't have a good play next. I guess we could DD. I guess we could DD next turn. The pressure and forcing us to return the Dons actually kind of annoying. Actually kind of annoying, huh? How many 2Ks do we have? We have 2 and a MrMaCHONaCHOMan. We have a 0 cost as well. We can negate this one. We can... It's actually annoying. NikoStrike, I think. Yeah, it's actually really quite a good play. Oh, okay. Maybe not so much. He's going to use 2 Don for something. We just have to give 2 2Ks. That's fine. And then this Stussy, we can either use... Yeah, that's fine. Cancel, resolve, return 1. That's fine. So we still go to 10. I don't know what this 2 is. 4 counter events, maybe? Unsure. Sanji, sure. Trash is Saul and Saul rings. So we're going to need to ramp immediately, which is slightly annoying, but is what it is. Now, do I want to play the blocker one, or do I want to play the... The KO one doesn't really do anything. So I think we play the blocker one, and then we have 2 Don for slow beam sword as well, which is quite good. Let's deploy this. Swing 5. Do I want to pressure this Stussy? Not really. Reduce this to 9. We can basically force him to lose 1 of them. We are better off just dealing a damage, pushing him down to 1. How do you think the longer the game goes on, it gets better for us? So I'm going to do 12 to 9. Oh, and he doesn't have 2K. Oh, wow. That's a throw. 4 1Ks there is crazy business. We have slow beam sword, so we get another 1 swing for free. Yeah, you can't pressure the king, really. Not like last turn. That was actually a really smart play last turn, I must say. Pressuring the king. You don't see a lot of players do that. You do not see a lot of players pressure the king. Because they just go, oh, you can return a Don. But when we're already at 8, it becomes difficult to return Don. Because then we lose our plays, right? It's interesting. I like that play a lot. I'm also hoping he swings one of these 5s first. Okay, Saul is fine. Groggy. I don't know about that one. 7. So we got 7, 7, 7. Not sure if these swing. No need for that. I think I'll just block. Okay. Yeah, we'll do the slow beam sword now. Rest the Loki. Now your blockers, or at least one of the blockers, is gone. 7. We can take 2, I think, here. Yeah, it's fine. Wow, that's a lot of counter. It's a lot of counter. We don't have to go for it, but we also can. This is still a blocker. With 4 swings, we need him to not be able to counter any, which is easier said than done. Maybe we just go 1 more turn. Maybe we just go 1 more turn. Play out this Kaido. Maybe kill a Weenie, though. It's kind of shit. We could DD as well. I don't think we need to go for it this turn. We'll leave 1 up. We'll just swing 5 here. And we'll pressure this low-key again. Looking for counter here. Yeah, we get that one. That's cool. And do I want to swing? Swinging with the blocker feels a little pointless. Yeah. This deck does have unblockable in the chopper. But we've got a lot of counter in hand. We've got 4k, 5k, 10k, 11k, 13k with leader effect, and a blocker. What does the chopper give unblockable to, actually? Is it just Straw Hat? Is it Elbath? I think it's Elbath. I'm going to check. So I can't remember. This is a freebie. We'll just block. Oh no, any character. If there is a character with a cost of 12 or more. And then what, 10 from leader? I mean, 11. Yeah, he said he meant to do 11-11. It doesn't matter. 12-10 is fine. Because my leader effect can only hit this Loki, so it's effectively 10-10. If you do 11-11, it's actually 9-11. Which is probably worse than 10-10. But yeah, well played to our opponent. We just kind of strangled him out. The Stussy was unexpected and I think was actually quite good. But tapping the Loki, he tapped the Loki and we mummed it, right? That was potentially a mistake. And also, the turn where he gave us like 4 1Ks to save the Loki. If he'd had 2 2Ks, I would have been in a considerably worse spot. But we took a risk. It kind of paid off. Maybe got a little lucky, you could say. But it is what it is. Possible I should have just swung at leader there to push him down. I don't know, let me know what you think. Do you think I threw on that turn? Let me know in the comments. But well played to our opponent, and let's move on. Now, other options, and we'll start with the OP17 cards. This Sasaki is an option over NikoStrike. I don't think either of them are very good. This guy isn't going to get to attack that much, is my main problem with this. It's fine, but like, the effect is not good. The same as Gundam Meteor Shower is not good. But also, if you play this and it gets removed by like a Gloriosa into Zebek, for example, you're just in such a rough spot. You really are. And for that reason, I'm just playing NikoStrike. The snipe can come up, but you could play Sasaki if you prefer. This Who's Who, I think, is simply bad. By the time you can afford to do this on -1, 2 drops generally aren't going to be relevant. Maybe if UG is still a problem, maybe you'll need to tech this for the late game. But I'm not sure about that at this point. It's too early to say how the meta is going to look out. I think you would only ever play this if UG was like a really bad matchup and it was really popular in the meta, like a top 3 deck. The other lead performers, Jack is not on the sim yet, and I do actually think Jack is better than King. King's a blocker that gives you a free 2k, which is fine, but he turns off this King. So for that reason, I'm just not playing him. I think turning off this King's effect is not worth having this be a decently statted blocker. 10k blocker is a good stat line, but there's so many good choices. We can't fit every boss monster that's been printed for this deck in. And this turning off this is why I'm not playing this Nikos King. The Jack I do want to try. I think it could have some potential. Particularly on the turn after you play lead performers, you can swing with the lead performers, then play the Jack, then swing with the Jack immediately. I think that could be quite cool. But for now, I'm just playing the Queen because the Jack is not here yet. This 0 cost has a funny trigger and is searchable off the event, but Divine Departure just... Like, I actually play this card. I use this card. This is just a 0 cost with a funny trigger, so I'm not playing it. And finally, this event is just worse than Gundam Meteor Shower. It's hard for your opponent to attack into your board most of the time, and 2 Don for 4k? I mean, it's just worse than 1 Don for 4k, right? Other Animal Kingdom cards, yeah, Flame Dragon Torch. If you prefer his Activate main to Gundam Meteor Shower, you can play it. This never came up. This hasn't come up yet, because I've been lucky enough that it hasn't needed to. But yeah, you play either of these, it doesn't really matter. Neither of them on the main are that good. They both just have the exact same counter effect, so choose your fighter. Black Maria is an option over NikoStrike. Again, I've never found the timing to play this. Although if you whiff King and still somehow get enough ramp, it could be okay. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this card. I haven't found the timing. Oh, Ulti and Pageon we didn't talk about on the OP17 bit. It's a backup to King, but it's so bad. It's so bad as a backup to King that I just don't think it's worth it. It will get removed immediately as soon as you swing once with it. And ramping once just doesn't cut the mustard a lot of the time. If you're on evens, maybe it's alright, because you can ramp on 4, you go to 5, draw to 7, ramp once with ulti, and you'll still end up at 10. But ramping specifically to 9, you can play these, but like, I don't know, man. I just don't think it's going to be good enough. Just draw King. Just draw King. This 7 cost Kaido, I think, is an option. If we really need to rest 7 costs, this is fine. It does cost on -2, which then if you're using your leader effect after that, it starts adding up. But I do think this is something you can mess around with as well. And finally, these 2 events. Ragnarok, I don't think is going to be good. Into specifically rocks, it can get rid of Shiki, which is awesome, but it doesn't establish a body in the doing so. So I'm not convinced. And Hakai will be strong if you need to deal with some sort of mid-range aggro stuff. Maybe Shanks ends up being tough, and you can use this to clear Mihawk plus Yasop or something. I'm not sure exactly, but this is definitely a tech card you could consider. Within Big Mum Pirates, because yeah, this is just as searchable. You could use 9 Mum. I think this is just worse than the other boss monsters, though. And yeah, I think that is about it. There was one other card revealed today, the Korazumi, or what was it? It's not Orochi. Who was it? Was it Higurashi? Kanjuro. It was a Kanjuro card that can rest anything. That's quite cool. I'm actually intrigued by that one. Might be worth testing that once we have access to it. Because late game, playing like a boss monster, you get 2 back from Kaido and then Kanjuro resting something. That sounds quite compelling. It's like probably worse than Mamaragan, but it doesn't mean it's bad. Mamaragan's very good. So yeah, I do want to try the Kanjuro, but my hopes aren't too high. Either way, thank you for watching. Drink of the day was this thing that I got for free from a leaving present from work. It's fine. I don't know if I'd buy it again. But either way, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.